We talked earlier about permission inheritance, and I briefly described how list items and lists also inherit the permissions from their sites. So this contact list, for example, because the site is open to everybody, this contact list is open to everybody. Now, I may not want that. I may decide that Jennifer Thompson's contact details, for example, should be kept secure and other people shouldn't be able to view them or definitely not edit them. But certainly, I don't want other people to even be able to see this information, for example. So I can secure individual items within my list, and I'll show you how to do that. If I select the item that I want to secure, I can see that I have this shared with button here. It says see everyone who has access to this document. If I click on that, it will basically show me who has access to this. And if you remember that we talked about permission inheritance, because this this contact list inherits permissions from the site, it basically has the same permissions. So if I click advanced here, I'm seeing the exact same screen that I would see for the site permissions, but this is for a particular list item. And it tells me here this list item inherits permissions from its parent, the home site. So I don't really want that. I want this particular record to be unique, and I'm going to tell this to stop inheriting permissions. It warns me. It says that I'm about to create unique permissions for this, and changes to the high level permissions on this site will not affect this item. That's fine with me. I'll press OK. And now what I can do, for example, is I want to say that people who are members and people who are visitors should not have any access to this particular item. I'll press remove user permissions. And now I'm happy because I know that only owners and this particular user here, which is myself, has access to this particular item. Now the Excel services viewers group is still here and it has view only access. So I'm going to remove that as well just in case because I don't know who's in that group. So I'm going to remove that as well. That's great. So it says this item has unique permissions. These permissions will never change unless I go into this particular item and change those permissions. And if I go back to my contacts, I can still see Jennifer Thompson, but if somebody else comes to this list, this record will simply just not appear. It's not that they will be able to see it and not have access to it. Because I've taken read access away from most people, this record will simply just not appear. If I want to change that, I can click here again, go to the Items tab, I can click on Shared With. I can see there are very few people who have access. I could email everyone if I wanted to. Not a particularly useful function, so I will not use that, but it will open an Outlook window and email all the people who have access to this item. I'll go back here and I'll click delete unique permissions so that this item now inherits permissions again.